Stronger.
And now, this is News Views, a newscast for Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, and the world. This is Bill Ratner speaking. And now, Michael Badger.
Hello and welcome to News View. Tonight's top story: malware could be on your computer and you may not know it. You should definitely check your computer and conduct a scan or take it to a computer shop to find out if you have the malware, or your computer may not work Monday, or at least it might knock you off the internet, the malware. This according to Associated Press via WSIL-TV.com, which is in Southern Illinois, an ABC TV affiliate. And they say, quote, "The warnings about the internet problem have been splashed across Facebook and Google. Internet service providers have sent notices and the FBI set up a special website." According to the FBI, the number of computers that probably are infected is more than 277,000 worldwide, which is down from about 3,600,000 in April. But of those still affected, the FBI believes that about 64,000 are in the U.S. So what they did was set up a temporary internet safety net, and to check whether your computer is infected with the malware, please go to a website, http://www.dcwg.org. That's www.dcwg.org. And there you can find out if you have the malware and what you should do about it. Now, according to another ABC affiliate in Illinois, WICD15.com, they say that overnight on Wednesday night, there was a homicide in Champaign. Police in Champaign are searching for the suspect in an overnight homicide. The police arrived at the intersection of Thornton Drive and Cruising Lane around 10:30 p.m. and found 20-year-old Desiree Austin lying in the intersection with a gunshot wound. She was taken to Carle Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. That according to WICD. And they also say at the U of I, the Campus Faculty Association is looking forward to working with Robert Esther now that the university has changed its leadership. The CFA agrees that many of the goals Esther talked about during a press conference with media on Monday, they agree with those, and they still want a faculty union. Esther started his full day as president this Monday. This comes after hundreds of faculty members called for resignation of U of I's former president, Michael Hogan, according to James Fillmore of WICD TV. And according to CNN, in the Trayvon Martin Zimmerman case, Zimmerman has been granted a $1 million bond by a judge Thursday after hearing arguments last week that Zimmerman and his wife tried to conceal donations for his case. It was unclear how quickly Zimmerman could post bond and be released from jail. Defense attorney Mark O'Mara argued that Zimmerman should not be jailed because the state's case is weak and his claim of self-defense is strong. Zimmerman has said he shot Martin, who was unarmed, because the teen attacked him, according to him. Zimmerman, aged 28, is charged with second-degree murder in Martin's February 26th shooting death. Zimmerman's original bail of $150,000 was revoked last month after Judge Kenneth Lester learned Zimmerman and his wife Shelley had failed to disclose more than $100,000 in donations from the public. And according to the LA Times, Los Angeles Times says that presidential candidate for the Republicans, Mitt Romney, has given evolving statements about the health care tax or penalty irritating conservatives. This according to the Los Angeles Times. They say in Guilford, New Hampshire, Dateline, if Mitt Romney was trying to soothe restless conservatives with his July 4th, declaration that the Obama health care mandate amounts to a tax, he might want to give it another shot. The Wall Street Journal, whose opinion pages are highly regarded as a barometer of conservative thought, published an editorial Thursday that exoriated the Romney campaign for its unforced error, quote-unquote, on the tax issue, concluding that, quote, the campaign looks confused in addition to being politically dumb, unquote. It was the latest sign of conservative unhappiness with Romney's campaign that faces the difficult task of pivoting into the general election after a primary campaign that was fought well to the right of the general electorate. So some conservatives are not happy. As you probably heard this week, actor, singer, and American icon Andy Griffith passed away at the age of 86 years old. He was best known for his role as Sheriff Andy Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show, which started in the Danny Thomas Show, Make Room for Daddy. And he also was known as a great stand-up comedian, and he acted in several different roles, sometimes the villain, sometimes the innocent bystander, and sometimes funny roles. And Andy Griffith, dead at 86 in 2012. Who would have thought? Moving right along, 3 kids drowned in New York, trapped inside a cabin after a yacht capsized July 4th in Oyster Bay. The 3 children killed with the yacht capsizing on Long Island Sound on the 4th of July were trapped in the cabin while it sank, said police Thursday. The bodies of David Arlino, 12, and 2 girls, Harley Trainer, 11, and 8-year-old Victoria Gaines, were recovered after searchers located the 34-foot yacht in Oyster Bay, said Nassau County Police Deputy Lieutenant John Azata. The 3 appeared to have been related and lived in Suffolk County, said officials. And, quote, it was the worst day of my life, 3 kids, unquote, said David of Arno's Uncle Sal of Arno, who was operating the yacht. Quote, "It was an accident," unquote, he said, choking back tears. Quote, "We're grieving. He was a great kid," unquote. There were 24 other people aboard the yacht, both children and adults. When the trip out to watch the fireworks turned tragic, Azada said. Investigators suspect the overcrowded boat may have been swamped by another vessel. They don't believe anybody was drinking aboard the newly purchased 1984 Silverton yacht, Azada said. And there's no evidence or suspicion of any type of intoxicants being utilized, quote unquote, he said. And it goes on, you can see more about that in the New York Daily News website at nydailynews.com. And according to WICD TV 15 in Champaign again, Governor Quinn spent the 4th of July signing 3 bills into law. They say it's a good thing because the laws affect veterans and active military service. Quinn signed the measures Wednesday morning in the Des Plaines 4th of July parade, according to James Fillmore, again at Channel 15. And we'll be right back after this break with more News View. Thanks. Stay tuned for more after this. Welcome back to Newsview. I'm Michael Badger. We're celebrating 4 years on UPTV and 4 years of Newsview. When I started this, I didn't know exactly how it would go, and here we are today, 4 years later. July 3rd, 2008 is when the first Newsview was recorded, and it was shown on July 4th, 2008 the first news view right here on UPTV in Urbana. And you can still see the first edition at Newslook 1 on YouTube. Now, in other news, according to WND.com, a private investigator named Susan Daniels in Ohio has been doing research to see whether or not President Obama has a real Social Security number that's valid. She started her investigation in August of 2009. And one thing she's found is that President Obama, Mr. Obama's been using a Social Security number with the prefix 042 since 1986. This is a number, she found out, that is reserved for the exclusive use of individuals who register in Connecticut. When she ran 10 sequential numbers before and after Obama's, all returned with the documentation issued 1977 through 1979 in Connecticut. When Daniel ran the numbers immediately flanking Obama's, she came to the firm conviction that Obama's number was issued in March 1977 in Connecticut. They say, by all accounts, as Daniels thoroughly documents, Obama was then a 15-year-old living in Hawaii. There's no record of him even visiting Connecticut in or near this time frame. So forget the birth or birth certificate thing, whatever. That seems to be going nowhere. It looks like somebody has found out something. We don't know, and we will follow this here at Newsview, or I will at least. That's weird, isn't it? Anyway, there's a lot more you can read about that, or a little more. And there's even a video you can watch on YouTube about this. And there are lots of comments. Well, there's a lot of comments at WND.com in the this is a commentary website, but this story is very interesting. How did President Obama get a Social Security number that looks like it would have been issued in the 70s, late 1970s in Connecticut? And Mexico is recounting votes from over half of all polling booths in Mexico, according to Reuters. At Reuters.com, you can see that. Mexico's election officials Wednesday recounted votes from more than half the polling booths in Sunday's presidential and congressional elections, responding to claims of fraud and requests for recounts in areas where the race was tight. Officials with the Federal Electoral Institute said the recount would not significantly change preliminary results of the presidential vote, which showed Enrique Peña Nieto of the Institutional Revolutionary Party, or PRI, winning with more than 38% of the vote, 6.5 points clear of his nearest rival. And in San Diego, the company has offered another show of fireworks after the Big Bay Boom malfunction. That's right, an entire 20-minute fireworks show in San Diego was reduced to an entire load of fireworks going off for the whole show, making the show last a total of 15 seconds. According to a producer of that event, Garden State Fireworks has offered to put together another show in San Diego before the next 4th of July. But there's a catch. The pyrotechnic display only makes up about $125,000 of the roughly $400,000 cost of the event, leaving the city to cover about $275,000. Wednesday night, they just all went off, and it only took 15 seconds. So people saw a 15-second fireworks show last night in San Diego because something went wrong. And you can see about that at 10news.com. That's 10news.com. And CNN.com also has a story about that. The weather is next on NewsView.
Code 405.
Transmission lock 3, 2, 1.
Champaign-Urbana, Central Illinois area, and beyond. Friday night, not too much beyond. Friday night, mostly clear, low of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday, sunny and hot, a high of 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Be sure to drink plenty and stay out of the sun. Saturday night, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy skies. Sunday, 88 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a lot lower than we've seen it lately, folks. And 30% POP and chance of showers and or thunderstorms. Sunday night, a 30% POP and a low of 67 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm Michael Badger, and this has been Central Illinois